Hello students, welcome to Krishna Computer Networks. In our today's lecture, we are going to begin our second unit where we will be discussing about the data link layer in detail. But before going for that particular data link layer, I want to repeat those particular topics which are related to your data link layer that we have discussed in our first unit. That is OSI model and TCP/IP model. In our OSI model, we used to have 7 layers. Already I told you people in what manner you need to remember those 7 layers. Okay, shortcut I have given, I can say, right? You can remember in that way, or else you can go for some other ways in which you can remember in easy manner. See, I have told you like this. Please do not throw Suresh purse away. See, these are the 7 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every layer will be having its own responsibilities. Few of them we have discussed in the first unit. Okay, but whatever the responsibilities, whatever the functionalities that we have discussed earlier, we will be discussing them in detail. We have studied what. Now, how we will be studying. Okay, now see what are the layers: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. In our TCP/IP model, we used to have only 4 layers. Okay, all these 7 layers works will be done by our 4 layers in TCP/IP model. Okay, and in our second unit, we will be discussing about this particular data link layer in detail, I can say, and what are the functionalities, how it will be implementing them, and how it is implemented while we are transmitting the data, and how it will be converting the data into the frames, and how it will be checking the error, and all these things we will be discussing it in second unit. Okay, now before going for that particular data link layer, just we will be discussing the functionalities and responsibilities that we have discussed in the previous lecture about your data link layer. Data link layer. See, this is a data link layer which is above to your physical layer and below to your network layer, I can say. And this particular data link layer will take the data from your network layer and that will be transmitted into the frames. While it is converting from network packets into the frames, the responsibility will be taken by your data link layer. It is very important that you need to know about the frames, you need to know about the packets. Why? Because your data will not be transmitted directly from sender to the receiver. They will be converting into the many forms in order to reach the receiver in a proper manner, I can say. Network layer will be sending the data to your data link layer. Okay, the network layer will be sending the data into packets forms. But this data link layer, again, it will be converting that data into what? Frames. Converting them into the frames is one of the responsibility of your data link layer. And already I told you people, it regulates the traffic. Say suppose if there is a sender, and if there is a receiver. If we are having two kind of people, those who are sending and receiving the data, say consider he may have highest speed, he may have lowest speed. He can send 100 bits of data per a second, but he can receive only 10 bits per a second. Then how it should be converted? That will be taken care by your data link layer. These are few responsibilities which are divided among the layers, I can say. And how it should be controlled, how it will be taken care, that will be taken care by your data link layer. This is one more responsibility functionality that we have discussed, and it provides the error-free transmission. Say whatever the data that you are sending it from data link layer from one system, that is sender to receiver, that will be transmitting the data as it is without having any errors. The error detection and error correction can be done at this particular data link layer. That is one more major responsibility, I can say. Why? Because you should not have any damage, you should not lose any data that you are sending it from the sender to receiver. That is what the major part is. In a data communication, you should not miscommunicate with the other person, those who are receiving the messages. Okay, if you are not doing the communication in a proper manner, then it doesn't mean anything. Then there is no meaning of any communication over here. These are the major responsibilities of your data link layer. And after this, it will be using a MAC layer, I can say, and DDL in order to transmit the data from sender to receiver. And how they will be used, how they will be implementing all this, that we will be discussing it in our second unit. In that, the first topic that we are going to discuss is your error detection. As I told you people, the error detection is one of the responsibility of your data link layer. We will be discussing this error detection in detail and how many techniques are there, how the techniques are helpful, and which technique is better in order to detect the errors. Okay, all these things we will be discussing in our next lecture. But try to understand what is the error detection. See, when we are transmitting the data from sender to the receiver, when we are transmitting the data from sender to the receiver, what are the fluctuations that we are getting in between when we are transmitting the sender to receiver? They are nothing but your errors, I can say, that need not come while we are communicating with the other device. That will be taken care by your data link layer. Process of detecting interference, I can say. Okay, when we are transmitting this data to this particular system, while we are transmitting, any error occurs or not, that will be taken care by your data link layer. And how it will be taken care, how the techniques will be used, that we will be discussing it in our next lecture. But here I want to discuss one more thing about this data link layer. And even after dividing that into the frames, whatever the data that we are getting from the network layer, that will be divided into the frames. And apart from this data link layer, it can communicate with what? Physical layer, which is below to this physical layer. The physical layer will be transmitting the data through the transmission medium, through the transmission medium. While we are transmitting the data through the transmission medium, it will be sending the data in a raw bits. Okay, in a bits format, it will be transmitting the data from one system to the other system, sender to receiver, I can say. Okay, this transmitting the data from data link layer to physical layer is also one of the part of your data link layer, I can say. Okay, and in this error detection, we will be having different kind of techniques. Without having any errors, we should pass the data from one system to other system. That is the reason we will be having lot of techniques, and we will be selecting one of the best technique for our data in order to not have any clumsiness, any interference, I can say. We will be having some error detection techniques like parity checker. Parity checker. What is parity checker, that we are going to discuss in our lectures in detail. Okay, just now you need to know the methods, you need to know the techniques that we will be following in order to detect the errors. Okay, at what? Data link layer. And we will be having vertical redundancy check. Vertical redundancy check. Vertical redundancy check. And after this, we will be having some longitudinal redundancy check. Longitudinal redundancy check. And after this, we will be having cyclic redundancy check. Cyclic redundancy check. After this, we will be having one more technique like what I can say is checksum. Okay, what it is? Checksum. All these are techniques, I can say. It is not matter that you should learn in this particular way only. In generally, we will be using cyclic redundancy check in a more manner, I can say, in a reality. Okay, and we will be using vertical redundancy checksums. It depends on the data that you are sending and receiving. Okay, it matters how you are sending, what kind of data you are sending, and what kind of technique that you need to use in order to detect the errors. All these things will matter. Why? Because it is not always true that we will be using only one method in order to detect the errors. Why? Because say suppose if you are having any data that can be read by anyone, even if it is read by anyone, if there is no problem, then there is no problem that you can have less security. But say suppose even it can be read by anyone, but it should not be the wrong one, then you need to take more care. Okay, in such cases we need to go for few more security issues. Okay, such kind of issues we will be discussing it in the data link video responsibilities. That's it for now. In our next lecture we will be discussing about VRC, that is vertical redundancy check, and longitudinal redundancy check, and cyclic redundancy check in a respective manner. Okay, I hope it is clear to you people. In this class, just I have repeated what we have discussed in the previous lectures, previous units. Just go through them, and in our next lecture we will go for the error detection techniques. That's it for now. See you in the next one. Thank you.